everyone. This is Andrea Gergich, Marketing Content Manager at Minitab. Our webinar, Introducing Live Analytics Beyond Ordinary Business Intelligence Dashboards, will begin in about 5 minutes. Thanks. Hello again, everyone. This is Andrea Gergich, Marketing Content Manager at Minitab. Today, we're excited to have our expert, Jen Atlas, present our webinar, Introducing Live Analytics Beyond Ordinary Business Intelligence Dashboards. In a few moments, I'll hand it over to our presenter, Jen Atlas, but first, just a couple of quick notes. The webinar audio is available through your computer. Please make sure your speakers or headsets are turned on and the volume is up. To ensure the best audio quality, all attending microphones are muted. If you have connection issues or see slides moving slowly, please note it might be helpful to log off your VPN. For the best user experience, we recommend using a computer to join the webinar rather than a mobile or tablet device. This webinar is being recorded. We'll send the presentation and recording in an email afterwards, so no worries if you need to drop off or want to review anything later. We'll have time at the end for a live Q&A with our presenter. However, please feel free to enter questions at any time in a question pane on the right, and we'll do our best to answer them. Finally, we kindly ask that you answer a couple of questions after the webinar is complete. Now to introduce our presenter, Jen Atlas. Jen Atlas is a Global Market Development Manager here at Minitab. Jen studies how organizations solve analytical problems to ensure that Minitab keeps delivering on our commitment to make data analysis easier. As a classically trained statistician, Jen has worked, trained, and consulted in the field of analytics for over 25 years. And with that, I'll hand it over to Jen.
Hey, thanks for joining us today, everyone. In this session, we'll discuss analytics and dashboards, and hopefully after the time you spend here today, you'll agree that by incorporating some analytics into your dashboards, we can significantly improve decision-making. So you'll see I'll go through a list of topics and features and show you really how live analytics works with our Minitab statistical software and Connect solutions. So first, let's start with a definition. Distinguishing good from bad arguments, thought that was interesting, really summarizes the purpose of analytics today. If you consider the etymology of the term analytics, it's interesting that the stem is about loosening and setting information free, which from a data perspective, analytics, when done correctly, should help inform us, help free us to make good decisions. So I thought that was kind of fun. So what are the benefits of analytics? Why do we need to do this? Organizations understand by effectively and appropriately integrating analytics into their business processes, we become more profitable, more efficient, and deliver better customer experiences. Anytime we use the best information to make decisions, we're at an advantage, right? So utilizing data to make decisions, there are so many benefits, but this requires that we can access and use the data that we have. But the data around data usage is not that great. I'll show you in a second. Think about your own organization. What percentage of data are you using? You can't argue the fact that the volume of data keeps growing and that data's probably never been more readily accessible than it is now. But one can argue, however, that we still aren't using it to its full potential. So here I created a visual, found data from a few different sources. And the question to companies is, what percentage of your data goes unused? And you can see the blue bar is the percentage that's not used, and the red is just the other side of the coin. What percentage is used? Even Gartner, 97% of data goes unused. So think about that. Of all the data that you collect, a high percentage, whatever the true average is. Like I said, everyone's got their own estimates, but either way, it's not good. We're not using the data that we have. So the natural question is why? Why are companies not using their data? Just last year, the Harvard Business Review conducted a study of Fortune 1000 senior executives and found that many companies are still struggling to become data-driven. It's partly due to legacy technology, also because of some cultural resistance to change. Over 90% of the companies surveyed reported that culture was a big barrier to embracing data. After over a decade of investment in data initiatives, we're still seeing companies continue to struggle in their efforts to become data-driven. So if we think about why that is, part of this has to be attributed to the business not seeing results and realizing the benefits of utilizing the data. Here's good news. When you study successful organizations that have benefited from that data-driven approach, one thing that you'll find is they've been able to get data in more hands. being able to unburden the IT departments, and they're able to share and provide more access to data, data that they need to use. So empowering those business users to create and utilize their data with visualizations, interactive reports, and analyses, it really makes a big difference. Instead of IT having to hold and distribute and kind of maintain that data, being able to empower their users, I think that's definitely important. What's the most common way that we share information and data analysis here in 2022? PowerPoint, maybe for some of us, but for many of you, it's BI dashboards. We all use them in some form or another, and they're great. Business intelligence dashboards have probably done more to advance the acceptance of data-driven decision-making than any other approach, initiative, or medium. But here's the thing. Over 99% of business intelligence dashboards are designed to gather and sort historical data. I've been looking at so many dashboards over the past few months, looking for analytics. And I can't tell you, as a person that's attended a lot of conferences and webinars, I'll hear a talk about an analytics dashboard. And I get excited, and I get in there, get my coffee, I sit down, and about 20 minutes in, I realize it's just a typical BI dashboard. And I say typical, really describing what's happened already. Using data to confirm the ideas and business strategy is important. Visualizations are almost always the preferred method to be able to quickly share this information. But the dashboards that we have don't make it easy to predict what will happen next or really give us that deeper insight. So I'm really thinking about, from an analytics standpoint, are we using the data to its full potential? So in statistics, we call the information we see on most business intelligence dashboards descriptive statistics. And you've probably heard this before. Some examples of descriptive statistics include averages, number of inquiries, total sales by region, all really useful bits of information to help you understand where you've been and where you currently are in your process. So let me be clear, I'm not knocking that information. It's critical, it's important, we need to know that information. But for years, we've been hearing from the technology research companies about how predictive and prescriptive analytics are going to fundamentally change the way we make business decisions. And yet here we are in early 2022, and the majority of our dashboards are still giving us these views of the rearview mirror. Stunning views, they're beautiful. Another thing I've observed is that the technology's changed a lot. I mean, BI dashboards first came out in the 70s, and the technology's certainly improved. We know we have much more data. The visualizations are beautiful, more beautiful than they've ever been. But are we getting more value from that? Are we making better decisions? So this is a somewhat sarcastic view of that data I showed you previously of the percentage of unused data. And I would argue that we need to be careful about, we want to incorporate analytics to our visualizations. We want to make our BI dashboards as good as they can be. But we also don't want to get caught up in just worrying about the aesthetics of something and not really communicating the information that's really critical. So again, this is just a different view of that same information here. So we know analytics are the vehicle that will drive data to make better decisions. And we know that while organizations and leaders struggle to embrace a data-driven culture, one aspect that's been fairly successful are these BI dashboards. I mean, like I said, I think we all look at them in some form or another with our work. Knowing what's happening now, the descriptive statistics, is necessary and useful, but we need to ask ourselves, how can we use the analytics to help us extract even more insights from our processes? So here, just a few of these questions, and obviously I don't know what everyone does for as their job, but if you do forecasting, how well are you forecasting future numbers? Are you just drawing a trend line? Are you using a time series method? If you are using that time series method, how are you sharing that information with other people? If you're doing any kind of analysis, what are the key drivers of customer satisfaction, driving behavior? How are you determining that? Are you using predictive analytics with that? And if you are, how are you sharing it? Are things stable over time? A whole bunch of different analyses and tools that can really help us extract better information about what's going on around us. So I've created some simple dashboards to kind of keep focus on the topic, but just to kind of make the point. This first example is meant to make you think about forecasts. I think this is an important part that we see within business. If you perform any kind of trend analysis, time series, and you're simply drawing a trend line on your data, consider that for a little extra effort, you could be using methods that will significantly improve your forecasting accuracy. So here I've got a single exponential smoothing method here up on a dashboard, which I'll show you this in a little bit. Within Minitab, we have more advanced, trend analysis, moving average, single and double exponential smoothing methods that are fairly easy to use. And with live analytics, I can select an analysis and place it on a shareable dashboard and share forecasts with my team. And I'll show you how live analytics works just a little bit. Organizations collect lots of survey data, and it's not usually done only one time. This can be ongoing. And actually, to show this, I'm going to switch over to my actual dashboard, so you're not looking at just the PowerPoint presentation. So having, like I said, insight into this data. So usually if we order things and we get, a survey at the end where we answer some questions, or this, this ongoing information that's coming in, providing insight into that customer sentiment is important, particularly if a lot of team members need access to it. So here I have a survey around product returns. And in addition to some typical BI visuals, like here I have a heat map of looking at the Net Promoter Score, how well I'd recommend the company to a friend or family member. And I could easily see those relationships. I can see some distributions of answers and some trends. I've also added what's called a variable importance plot. So the variable importance plot actually is in this case, generated from a card tree. But variable importance plots give you a relative ranking of how well features or predictors in your survey relate to the response. So really, what's most important. So in this case, feeling valued as a customer is a very important factor in terms of predicting how well that Net Promoter Score is going to be. And you can see I could create some visuals to understand what that relationship is. The more valued I feel as a customer, the more likely I'm probably going to recommend it to someone else. But having this information directly into this dashboard, and this is from a, let's say advanced, but a predictive analytics algorithm, it is important. Being able to incorporate this information in addition to the regular, kind of BI tools that we get is important. And it's also easy. I can create a model in Minitab using a AutoML feature of our predictive analytics module, and then simply bring this model and some of the aspects over to the dashboard with just a few clicks. So yes, data scientists are probably doing this using Python and Jupyter notebooks, but anyone could do this with live analytics. So another application, process capability. The other piece I should mention is, of course, as new data is coming in and it's automatically being updated, which is not really new to BI dashboards, so all these do that, but for analytics and analytical tools, that's important. So process capability is probably one of our most popular methods. If you aren't familiar with it, capability analysis combines a visual display with a model fit and an estimate of what's going to be out of specification. How well are we meeting spec? So these could be part measurements, delivery times, really any measure. And another popular tool are control charts. These visualizations not only plot data over time, but they also incorporate limits that tell us, which are really calculated bounds to help us understand common cause and special cause variation. Special cause being unexpected behavior. So, knowing whether a process is stable over time is helpful for planning, especially when it comes to predicting how capable a process would be over time. And another benefit of the system within Live Analytics and Minitab Connect is the ability to send notifications and alerts, because I really want to know when something's starting to go wrong. Application that you might use a dashboard for, be an engineering portal to share information, for sharing critical information. Particularly useful if you have engineers that are working on similar processes, maybe across different sites and locations. So here I have data collected from a process where engineers have many variables and want to understand the drivers of paper brightness. I can actually show you this one as well over here. So here I can have things like a correlation between all the factors that I'm measuring and being able to readily, view that, but also understand the relationship between factors and production rate and brightness and whatever factors I'm looking at. and really just, be able to share that in an easy way. And also some, like I said, some modeling from, gradient boosted trees, which, like I said, predictive analytics methods that are usually harder for someone to access, and especially if they've accessed them, to be able to share and put that in a nice consumable format. So let's talk a little bit how this works. So I jumped in with, motivating to use analytics, and then I started talking about some different examples. But we're really leveraging Minitab Connect and Minitab statistical software. So Connect is our solution that empowers data users from anywhere with self-serve tools to transform data into, a governed network of reusable data pipelines to feed analytics initiatives. Could be dashboards, could be a lot of different things. Platform enables direct inputs from online and offline, internal and external sources, and automated data exports to, destination platforms and reporting tools. So here we're actually using Connect to not only where Minitab can open data from Connect, but also then put information back in to Connect dashboards. So Connect has a massive pre-built connectors, and if you need a connector, reach out, because we're constantly building connectors for customers what they need. But data integrations that allow teams to exchange data between their applications and their sources. And Connect, like I said, it's not only about accessing data, but it's also about the prep. So for those of you whose competitor solutions, you know that you have a whole prep tool in some cases where that's built right into Connect to help get the data ready. So I'm, collecting data from different sources. I'm getting that data ready. I can visualize that data, like I said, and be able to, set that up. And also now with Minitab, being able to put the data, open the data directly over within Minitab, do my analysis, and then be able to send that analysis right back up so it can be used easily on a dashboard. In Minitab, if you're not familiar with us, Minitab statistical software, we believe that regardless of what your background is, that you have data, we can empower you to predict better outcomes, design better products, improve processes, generate higher revenue. You should be able to analyze data in an easy, clicks not code platform that really lets you be able to do some pretty powerful things. And now with live analytics and the way we're connecting both Minitab and Connect, you can do a lot more. So of course you can create these BI dashboards within Connect, but now I can make BI dashboards that are even more, I would say, true analytics dashboards that allow me to add these analytical tools that will make those dashboards more powerful. But think about where you're at today. Can you be better at understanding the drivers of customer behavior? Are you forecasting as well as you could? Are you doing the analysis now and discovering good insights, but you're finding it difficult to socialize the results? Perhaps an analytics dashboard can help you communicate this. So true analytics dashboards, really provide more insight and provide that data-driven culture. So again, I'm not proposing that we get rid of BI dashboards, not at all. I'm proposing that we make those BI dashboards a little bit better. They're beautiful, they're great, they're connecting to more data, they're being used by more people. Now really take them to the next level of adding analytics in there that will really help you make better decisions. Organizations should empower their business analysts and anyone to be able to let them make those better decisions themselves. And really the integration of our solutions of Minitab statistical software and Minitab Connect really provides just seamless analysis of Connect data directly in Minitab statistical software in our web app. And the analytics can be used right within Connect dashboards and updated as data changes. So we really think these are some pretty exciting, additions to really help you communicate more effectively.
Thanks, Jen. Before we begin our Q&A, I wanted to share a few words about Minitab. For nearly 50 years, Minitab has helped companies spot trends, solve problems, and discover valuable insights in their data with our comprehensive and best-in-class suite of statistical analysis and process improvement tools. The companies that use our products and services come in all sizes, industries, and geographies. One thing they all share in common is their commitment to excellence, and our goal is to help them achieve it. In the webinar today, you saw live analytics in action, which is just a part of our solutions analytics here at Minitab. We offer additional software like Minitab Engage, Minitab Workspace, Quality Trainer, and SPM, and services like our signature trainings, statistical consulting, and industry-leading technical support, all of which enables organizations to make better decisions that ultimately drive business excellence. We also have an abundance of free resources to explore that can help and inspire you, like Minitab support, the Minitab blog, videos, client success stories, and more. Visit minitab.com to access all that we have to offer.